Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine with another album review. And this is an album I'm absolutely loving at the moment. And it's gone past all of my expectations of what I expected. And the album is Stray and About Time. I think it's also coming out on vinyl. This is the CD version. Many of you will know that I spoke to Dell Bromham from the Now Spinning Magazine podcast, and it was a really long interview, and we had a great chat where he talked about his entire career from the formation of Stray right through the 70s, 80s, 90s, noughties, whatever, his solo career, everything. We touched base on everything. I remember at the end of the interview, we were talking about the fact that he was working on a new album. And I said it'd be great if we could catch up later on when the album comes out. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to be talking to Dell again, but I didn't expect the album to be as good as it is. And I know some people think, well, what did you expect? I didn't expect this because it's just stunning. I mean, a lot of people will talk about Stray and say Saturday Morning Pictures, Suicide or whatever. But I feel this. And I really mean this, at the point of doing this, and I've been playing it non-stop, it's been played in the car, been played on stereo, that it could be, well, I'm going to say, I think it's the best album that Stray have done. The songs, the way, everything about it. I'm going to go through some of the tracks, but on the press release that I was sent, it says, "Oh, this band have been together nearly 50 years." And 2023 is About Time keeps the flame burning. It's a standout release packed with pile drivers, counterpointed by slower numbers as always, dabs of psych and prog that long hallmark the electric nature of the band's output. All the compositions are by Dell, and they are. Dell says, "I favour songs with purpose and narrative and have some pretty strong feelings about social injustice. It's all about messaging, entertainment," he says. And also, Dell has also released a fantastic autobiography as well. Now, normally, the reason why I'm reading that out is when you have a press release, it's full of that kind of like positive stuff, isn't it? Because obviously they want to sell records. But this is a case where it's absolutely correct. The first track, I Am, which starts with acoustic guitars, but what a lyric. In fact, if I look at this while I'm here, it might sound a kind of obvious lyric, but when you hear the song, you realise that this is kind of just brilliant, just brilliant. I am a lion, I am a tiger, I am a rock and roll survivor. I'm telling you right now so that you know I've been a loser, been so abused, but I've had to let it go. Otherwise I'd lose my mind, and that's for sure. It's such a catchy song, but it's such a, as I say those words, I've just had shivers down my spine, because when I was listening to the song the first time, I just knew. Do you know when you have an album and you've only got in as far as track one, but you just have a feeling that this is going to be a great journey. And this is if this was vinyl, it's going to have to be a double album because of the length of the album. But it's a wonderful song. It's an anthem. It's an anthem. It really is. It's a classic, and it's going to be, I imagine it's going to be in Stray's live set forever. It's a song to open with for as long as Dell wants to tread the boards. It really is. It's just joyous. It's just a really, really great song. The acoustic guitars give it a different kind of light and shade flavour, but it really is fantastic. The second track on the album is Living the Dream. This is also a song that really, really made me think. And the lyric, especially for me personally, it was a sunny day. I went down to the beach and kicked the sand with my feet. It was getting hot, so I went for a drink. The pavement was hot on the street. I looked up at the sky, and to my surprise, there were no clouds to be seen. I thought myself, what a lucky guy. I must be living the dream, living the dream. I want to live the dream. And I thought, that could be me. Well, it is me, because I can, many of you know, when I do my other videos, I can walk to the beach, and, so I am living the dream. And I think this is one of these songs that and the second verse goes on to meeting someone else who's also, it's their own perspective of life. Actually, when you look at it, there's more good than not good. And I thought it was a fantastic song, a great lyric. It's also the first song that has got a very Purple-esque, Heepish flavour to it. And this is down to the Hammond organ playing. It really is. But I'm going to come more onto this. But it's a great song. In fact, if I look at just give you the credits here, Carl Randall is on drums and percussion. Simon Rolando is on Hammond organ, piano, and synthesizers. As Simon's keyboard playing on this album is absolutely stunning. Now, Black Sun is track number 3, and in my notes I put it's a really moody riff, and it is. It's a real crunchy riff and great 4/4 rhythm. It's a great track. I put it down as one of my favourites. Great chorus, and after about 3 minutes it changes into another riff. It's just joyous, and there's a bit of almost a bit of Thin Lizzy in the way that the guitar harmonies are played out, but the Hammond organ, it's just a great rock song. It really is. Next one, Blood from a Stone, is track 4. It's another uplifting track. I put here in my notes, mid-paced. It's a very social. There's a lot of social observation in the lyrics. The lyrics I think are great in this. They really are. Because it was recorded. I know a lot of artists are saying this, aren't they? It's a lockdown album. And, and it becomes kind of a cliche. People say, oh, I recorded, it's a lockdown album. This is. But, Dell's observational stuff and what it was like, the kind of the fear that was going around at the time, he really pins this down. And it's a great song. It really is. So, as I put here, it's a great guitar solo in the midsection. And then we move to the next one, which I just want to mention. I'll try not to take up too much time doing this review, but there's so many tracks I'd like to talk about, and it's Blood from Stone. It's another uplifting track, very commercial rock, another great guitar solo. But Shout itself, the way it starts, and this is, I did. I put this down as one of my favourites as well. It starts with a very kind of Eastern feel. Very Deep Purple, very Uriah Heep, proggy in places. I just love the kind of chorus in this, and it has in the way that it moves through the music. There's very much a Rainbow Rising element to this, and I mean that in a really good way. This is really great songwriting, great arrangements. And as I said, you've got the Purple-esque stuff, the Heepish stuff, and now a bit of Rainbow Rising, and of course it's all Stray. So if you're a fan of Stray, you're just going to love this. Better Day has got this really kind of chug riff, great lyrics again. Let's see if I made any other notes on this. This one was about COVID in particular. I think the invisibility of the threat all around us at that time. Great guitar solos. It's a bit kind of Wishbone Ash in places as well. And then the real epic to me is the Sword of the Moses, if I'm pronouncing that right. As you know, I might be, I might not be. But this is an epic song. It's moody, it's emotional, great vocals on it. It's really exciting instrumental section. Absolutely loved it. And then, interestingly, on the CD, it mentions that the next 3 tracks, there are 10 in total, are bonus tracks. And that gives the impression that they're kind of like they didn't quite make it. Although because they're part of the single CD edition, they obviously did make it. And they all sound superb to me. That is not enough. It's a nice kind of pop rock song. Maybe that's why it was seen as a bonus, but it fits. It fits in with the whole album. So I wouldn't have called them bonus tracks. They're just part of this wonderful album. Raise Your Hands is a great rock track. And again, it's another very observational lyric. There's songs on here, where it talks about, you've been frightened what to say in case someone cancels you and something. Dell's really on the button on all of this stuff. And then Dust in My Pocket is kind of a autobiographical song. I just lyrically, this album is wonderful, and musically it is as well. But I think what took me by surprise was the fact that every single song hits the mark, and I don't think I've never thought of Stray as being kind of like closer to Purple or Uriah Heep, this kind of Hammond sound. I don't think they've had it before to this degree, but it works so well. And Dell and the guys, all the people who've made this music, should be really proud of this album. It's that good to me. And I know a lot of people in the Facebook group have already gone and bought it. And as I said, there is a vinyl version coming out as well. So obviously I'm showing you the CD version here, but it's well worth listening to. And if you are a fan of Stray, get it. Don't just look back at the early 70s and think, oh, I used to remember that band. They are valid now, and just listen to it. You can stream it first if you want, and if you're into bands like Purple and Heep, or into rock music, you want to know all the fuss is about. If you're a younger member watching this video, stream this. Seriously, it's great. And that first song, I Am, it's just an uplifting anthem. So well recommended. It's out now. And so thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening and watching. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor, and this album is certainly on that pile at this end at Now Spinning Magazine HQ. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you very, very soon.